I've introduced this extra session for several reasons, not least because people with strong fundamentalist religious views usually have a problem with homosexuality. It's often those people who hold strong religious views about homosexuality, who believe that people choose to be gay and that homosexuality is a sin, who are the most vociferously opposed to LGBT people being treated equally and with respect. They are the ones who are trying to stop anti-discriminatory legislation that supports LGBT people. Historically, many of the agencies who support vulnerable young people were religious, and indeed many social workers, youth workers, teachers, doctors, etc. are religious. I've already shown how in 1994 the Secretary of the British Psychological Society publicly referred to his biblical beliefs to stop the introduction of a lesbian section within the society. He successfully delayed the introduction of a lesbian and gay section for 4 years. Back in the 1980s, I was a youth worker for Lancashire County Council. Despite them having an equal opportunities policy that included sexual orientation, I was discriminated against and refused promotion. Indeed, my line manager told me that as a lesbian, I should not be working with girls. I don't think it's any coincidence that he held strong religious views. In the past, this sort of discrimination was often hidden, but since LGBTs have gained more legal rights, and especially with the introduction of the Equality Act, religious homophobia has become more and more visible. This session will be a very brief introduction to some of the issues, and I'd like to begin with a short historical overview. You may not know it, but there has always been some form of homosexuality present in various religions and cultures. Abrahamic religions, that is Judaism, Islam and Christianity, traditionally saw male homosexuality as sinful and immoral. This is primarily based on 2 passages from Leviticus and Genesis. Leviticus says that man shall not lie with another man. It is an abomination, punishable by death. Why is it, however, that those people who use the Bible as an excuse for their homophobia do not follow other laws set down in Leviticus? For example, men should not shave nor cut their hair. You should not wear a garment that consists of both wool and linen. And divorced people who remarry should be killed. In the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, the cities are supposedly punished by God because of vice and homosexuality. Leaving aside any issues about interpretation, when the local men demanded that Lot send out his 2 male guests so that they may know them, Lot refuses and offers them his 2 virgin daughters instead. After his wife has been turned to pillar of salt because she looked back at the city, Lot and his 2 daughters leave the area and sleep in a cave. His 2 daughters get Lot drunk and lie with him and get pregnant, and thus began 2 new tribes. So tell me, what exactly is the moral of this story? At this point in history, i.e. now, there are several religions that are more accepting of homosexuality. Indeed, some have gay bishops. Others, meanwhile, are still traditional. In some Islamic countries, for example, homosexuality is punishable by death, as indeed it used to be many years ago in Britain. Recently, here in Britain, there have been big debates in the Church of England with regard to gay bishops as well as same-sex marriage. There have also been challenges in the European Court of Human Rights under employment law, which has implications for those providing services. To complete this section, I would ask you to go back to the introduction to Session 3, where you will find a link to a YouTube video which includes Pavan Dhaliwal of the British Humanist Society and Eric Pickles, Conservative MP, discussing a recent ruling by the European Court. I want you to listen to the discussion and identify the key issues. Once you've done this, I'd like you to discuss 2 points. Firstly, do you think a person who believes homosexuality is a sin and morally wrong can provide an unbiased and supportive service that meets the needs of LGBT young people? Secondly, Finally, I'd like you to watch another short video on YouTube called Get Educated About Homosexuality. You'll find the link in the session introduction. This cartoon challenges the view that homosexuality is a choice by referring to recent research. We can choose to come out, accept our sexual orientation, and develop a positive identity, but we cannot choose who we are physically and emotionally attracted to.